Hello, and welcome to Leading Inspired Learning, a Strive podcast. Hello, and welcome to Leading Inspired Learning, a Strive podcast. I'm Allie, the Strive manager, and I am so excited to host Jamie today. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you so much for having me, Allie. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Good. So tell us about you. Who's Jamie?
Great question. Also loaded.
Yes, I know.
So I've been at RECE for 16 years. I've taken a step back from being in practice a little bit. Anyways, I got thrown back into it, but to teach at a post-secondary level. But since 2021, I've been really advocating for before and after school education and summer camp and recreational staff, and just how the professional development is so faulty there. Yes. Just overthought. No one thinks about it really. And now I run my own business, Miss Jamie Consulting, where I do all of that. And I have my own podcast, The Forgotten EC, where it's literally speaking and singing to the choir of how wonderful before and after school education is and how important it is. So yeah, that's really me in a sum. Currently an interim director at a place. That's how I got thrown back into it. But loving it because it keeps me with the children.
Yes.
And then started my own camp this summer with my partner, Jamie. Funny that we're both named Jamie.
That's so funny.
But again, so that I can preach before and after school and I can talk about how wonderful it is, but I want to stay current in what's happening and
talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah, like I don't want to sit from my high chair being like, oh my God, this is what you do, and then nothing actually works. So this way I can test my theories and my knowledge and make sure that the kids are responding to it and then help people along the way.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And so you just told me your resume. Tell me about you personally.
Oh God.
What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Tell us about your family.
Working.
No. Okay. Yeah. Right.
No, I have two beautiful children who are 7 and 9, which really the advocating comes for them because they just deserve better in this world.
Yeah.
And I've been married for, 11 years, and my husband is super supportive because of all the crazy things that I do and throw myself in. So he holds down the fort at home for me.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And a huge animal lover. We have a zoo, literally.
How many animals?
Oh my God. 2 dogs, a cat, a bird, a bearded dragon, 2 axolotls, and a bunch of fish.
That's a zoo.
And I'm crazy because people would be like, oh my God, you have so much to do. You have so many animals. But tomorrow someone could come and be like, my animal needs help. Can you take it? I'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. I'm at the phase where I'm like, it's my 2 kids and I at home. Yeah. And if I have to care for one more living thing, I might pull my eyes out.
Oh yeah. They definitely I pull my hair out on a daily basis. Like, why do I do this for myself? My husband's like, do we have too many? I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. This is who we are, right?
It's fine.
But my house is super messy, so don't ever come over and judge that.
Fair. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm too much of a neat freak to welcome animals into my home on top of the kid mess.
I need a maid.
Yeah, right? Right. Awesome. So we're going to talk all things school age.
Yes, we are.
Before and after care today. It's a topic we've talked about on the podcast before, but again, it's so unique and different in that realm than your typical childcare world. And it is still very much an important part of our system and our sector and a need for families every single day.
Yes.
I think hot take. I think when FDK rolled out and the original vision of a full day, what that looks like, and specific to London Middlesex, we typically see the school board offer the 9 to 3:20 care, and a third party provider enter the school and do the before and the after piece. And I think the way it was initially rolled out, and I think it was it Waterloo that rolled it out?
Has the extended day?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have they have a teacher come in from 9 to 3:20, and then they have one ECE come from 7 to lunch, and the other one come from lunch to 6. And so that it's a more full day learning with extended care for those who need it. And I feel like that's how it should be.
I couldn't agree with you more. Waterloo has it down pat in that sense because I can't speak too much more for Waterloo. They're amazing. Okay?
Yes.
But I don't know why other people don't do it.
Yeah.
Your educators don't have to work a split shift.
Yep.
The kids that are in the program know these teachers fully for the whole day.
Yep.
And then the teachers also have the benefit of working in the school board as ECEs.
Yeah.
It's just,
Brilliant.
they're doing it right. And then every other place, like I'm from Stratford, and the same thing. We do it very similar to London, where it's third parties coming in. We're lucky if we can get third parties in to the schools, because no one wants to take it because it's a split shift and it's hard to.
It is hard
to I'm trying to say
to staff it.
To
For sure.
staff it.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's hard because then I find the kids are the ones that are suffering.
Yeah. When I was a director, we had a large school age program. My childcare was attached to a school, and so I was the director of the childcare and the school age program. And we had quite a few of, it was a large program. So we had a lot of students who utilized the before and after school. And what my goal was when I was there was specifically for kindergarten, especially for kindergarten, to keep the children in the same rooms that they're in. So we worked really closely with the teachers and ECEs, the principals at the time, to make sure, okay, I do have a group of 15 who are from this class, and we're going to come into this class. We're going to start the day in this class. We're going to end the day in this classroom, and it's still their classroom. So are you cool if they still use all the things in the room? We'll tidy up. And are you cool? We'll replenish the craft stuff. We'll contribute to a whole environment. And it worked really, really well for a few years. The few years I was there, we got to a really good place with it. But that is, I think, the anomaly, not the rule. It is the exception, not the rule. I think that's the expression. Like that was a rare occurrence, and we worked really hard as a school community to build that. It's not always the case. It's not always the reality.
Yeah, no, you're so right. And it goes back to those like communication, and right back to our foundation, dare I say. Yeah. It's building that sense of belonging. But us as educators have to do that with the teachers as well. Sure. We can't just come in and assume that everything's going to be okay. And we also can't put our back up when they put their back up. They're sharing the room, and I'm on your side. Like, these children go to this school. We're all here for the same freaking reason. There is no reason for us to be fighting. Yeah. And we're all adults. If something gets broken, we'll fix it. If one of our stuff gets broken with you guys, you fix it. Yep. You can use our stuff. Right. Like, we're here for the children, and we all have that combined resource to do that.
And so why do you think that it gets so forgotten in before and after school? That we are all here. Exactly what you said. We're all here for the children. Yeah. Why does that get so forgotten?
It's because somewhere along the line, someone decided that when ECEs and teachers disperse and go to full day learning into the school board, and ECEs come from a secondary organization, all of a sudden someone's better than the other people, and no one likes each other. And I don't even think that's true. I think there's stipulation at both places that we don't feel like we belong, and they don't feel like we should be there. But I also have talked to so many, especially kindergarten teachers, but I had a wonderful grade 1 teacher at my last center who everything in their room was just like, this is for the kids, use it. And I was like, this is amazing. We're responsible for it. But there's a stipulation around, they get paid better. They do better. They get benefits. Have we talked to all these educators, the ECs in the classroom? Right. Because I don't think A, it's that much better than being in a childcare center, and B, they still feel out of place. Yeah. We need to be there for the children. It's like when we teach children, lead with kindness. We don't know where people are coming from. We all are working hard to get to the same place to do the same thing for these kids.
Yeah. It is hard. And, you do hear both sides of it. My best friend's an OCT. I hear it from her side of it. You hear the school, the before and after care educators who are struggling. You see the discrepancy there. And it's this weird, like, unspoken hierarchical thing where like what you said, one is better than the other. It's like, ultimately, aren't we all here to do the same thing? And that's care for these children,
and we're all educated, we all went to school, we all have student debt. Like, it's not there's no better here. We're here for one reason, and if anyone's going into it to feel like they're doing it because they're better than other people, then they're doing it for the wrong reason.
That's true.
I always say, it sounds funny that I say that, but I'm old, I guess. I always say that there's two types of ECs or even educators in the world. There's the people that go into it because they don't know what else to do, and they're trying to get by, and they think it's going to be easy. And there's the people that are passionate about early childhood education, about children, and those are the people that are hard to come by, but you know them. As soon as you see them, you know them. We can't fake it till we make it in childcare.
No, No, the children,
they know.
They know. Yeah, absolutely.
Aww.
Yeah, I think that we've kind of dispelled a few of the like myths over the years on the podcast. We did a great series with Kale last year around some of these kind of misconceptions, and I think the realities are still true, and it is unfortunately like this mindset shift that has to happen on both sides of the fence in order to get to a place where it's all kumbaya and we're all happy in it together. But it takes a lot of work.
It does.
So what would you say to before and after school educators who are facing maybe an OCT or ECE team that isn't on board, who isn't willing to share, who is very protective of their space, is very we're better than you feeling? What would you say to them?
Kill them with kindness. 100%. Going to a situation like that with your backup and wanting to attack them or be like, no, I'm better. Oh, no, we're all here for... It's not going to work. They've already had their mindset. So kill them with kindness. Bring your stuff in if you can. Don't share their stuff. That's fine. But I'm overly friendly all the time. So it's like, oh, do you want to use my markers? Look, I just got this really great craft. Maybe your class would like to use it. Oh, we just got these wonderful blocks here. And it's really just, this is who we are. We're here for the ultimate reason, and reminding them that we're all here for the children. I highly suggest talking to the principal and the vice principal, whoever administration is, because normally there's someone in the school that wants you there.
Yeah.
Schools depend on before and after school education because people, especially now, are picking what schools their kids go to based on whether or not they'll have care. And care is so scarce for people.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And it's all over.
Yeah.
And the wait list, dare I say.
Oh,
dare I bring that
insane.
up? But we're all here for the same reason.
Yeah.
And there's someone in the school. Administration wants you there because it fills their schools. So talk to them and just say, listen, can we introduce myself at the beginning of the school year? I want to know the teachers and I want them to know that this is who I am and this is what I care about.
Yeah.
And that the kids aren't running around wild. We have ideas and they have responsibilities and they're good kids. They come from your school. They're good kids. But yeah.
It is a weird mindset that like all of a sudden 3:20 hits and they're different children.
I know.
Like these are the same ones you've had all day.
Yep. Absolutely.
Same rules apply.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. It goes really into that babysitter lens, right? Like you're just taking care of them. I did all the hard work all day. You're just taking care of them. It's like, well, we're actually learning through the play that we do. Yeah. So I would argue that they're learning more with us, but that would be conflicting.
Hot take.
Just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but you can follow up with me if that's a problem.
With kindness.
With all the kindness.
Learning happens in a multitude of ways.
Yeah. And there's so many wonderful teachers out there that want to help and want to be a part of it. And I think it's just breaking that stigma. It's almost like this unspoken rule, I'm guessing, when you walk into a school like, oh, the ECEs are down there. We don't talk to them. Right. I know I worked, my last center that I was a supervisor for, we were inside of a school also. And right at the beginning, they're like, oh, the dishwasher's down in the staff room. We don't want to go to the staff room. I'm like, why? What's in the staff room? Like, don't we use the staff room? Oh, no, that's the teacher staff room. And I would go down and do dishes, and they're like, hey, everyone. Like, I'm Jamie. How's it going? And I get along with all of the teachers. Like, there's just a stigmatism that goes around it. And when people build it up before they actually get to know other people, it kind of breaks down what we want.
So folks are hopefully listening to this before the school year starts.
Yes.
So if they are beginning hopefully they're well trained with their organizations. They're all set up for success.
They are.
But if you're wanting a little more and a little other perspective, what would you say to educators when they're starting on their very first day? First day of school is madness on the best of days.
Oh, yes.
Children are running everywhere. No one knows where to go. No one knows who the teacher. It's chaos.
It's utter chaos.
But what would you say to those educators to really start their year off on the right foot?
Oh, great question. Get to know the children. Stop doing what you're doing in the classroom, whether it's primping or prepping or whatever it is. And when those kids come into the classroom, get down to their level, which these kids were preschool the day before.
Yeah.
A lot of our kindergartens and our school agers, it doesn't, with older, like grade 1 and older, it doesn't stop there. They still need to be cared for. Get down to their level. Introduce yourself if you don't know them yet. If you remember them from the year before, ask them how their summer was. Ask them if they did anything, and actually actively listen. I can't stress that enough. You need to be listening, not to respond back, to actually hear what they're saying and then carry on a conversation with them. Because again, kids know if they're just talking to be heard or if they're talking because you care. And it's building those connections and those mini moments. Because once you have the connections, then children feel like they can trust you. It doesn't take that much time.
Yeah.
And then the room and the atmosphere is going to be a whole lot better. They're going to look forward to coming in and talking to you. I had kids for years going, oh my goodness, my French teacher is a nightmare. I'm like, oh my gosh, come tell me about your French teacher.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah. Or, oh, so-and-so in my class was so rude to me today. I'm like, let's go talk about it.
Right.
And they just were excited to tell me these things. And you get to build a whole new sense of who these children are, and they get to feel comfortable with who they are in your programs. And they don't always get that in school because they have to sit for so long, and they have curriculum that they have to meet with, where in our programs they don't have that. They can actually be themselves and try things that they really like.
What kind of advice would you have for, I know one of the barriers that often comes up and one of the struggles that often comes up in school age is like storage and material storage and all that kind of stuff. So what would you say, kind of beginning off on the right foot, how do you prep yourself as an educator for success when it comes to actual things?
Yes, absolutely. Multi-use things is key. We would often, if you have like a cart or something, hopefully it's one that is like those old craft shelves with wheels, so that you have multiple things that you can use it for, and then some other kind of functional storage that it has to have multi-use. We can't have things that only have one use in these programs because they have to be multifunctional, and we have to move them a lot of the times because there's a meet the teacher night, so now you can't be in the classroom, or there's a barbecue happening, so you can't be in the gym. But also it helps you be able to move those things outside and run your whole program outside, which is wonderful. But yeah, I would say multi-use, and then keep it organized. Label. Know where your paper and your crafts are so that kids can get it and they don't have to ask for things. Know where your board games are, because again, we don't want kids to have to feel like they have to ask for things. We want them to be able to find it and find it quick. So labeling the things that are on your shelves if you have it. And if you are blessed to have storage either under a stage or in a little corner closet, it's using bins with labels so you know quick how to get them. But I know we're not always blessed with that.
It's so hard because the circumstances are always so different in every program. You know, when you have a childcare attached, like most of my experiences with the childcare attached. So we'd be able to bring the carts in. We had a storage room for school age stuff. We had we had our dietary planner on site, so snacks right there. Like we had that stuff, which was ideal. That's not. Again, that's the exception, not the rule. Most times educators are working with a corner of a stage or a random like utility closet that you can put a few bins in. You know, snack is always a whole,
here's a bin,
the whole thing, right? It is, you know, we're working in spaces that aren't always set up for like libraries or gyms. Outdoor space though. I know I love driving, you know, picking up my son and driving by the school and seeing the children still outside playing, because I feel like as soon as I drop, he gets dropped off right at school start. But as soon as school starts, they, you know, whistle blows and they have to sit on the edge and they don't get to play on the climber. And I'm like, well, when do they get to play on the climber? But the children in before and after school program, I see them out on the climber. They're having a blast. It's so great. And I think the weather piece and the on and off of equipment and all that kind of come winter when there's so many layers, it makes outdoor play hard. But the outdoor space, I think, is one that we often forget to take advantage of. And we have the whole space. Usually schools don't stipulate what you're allowed and not allowed to do outside or use outside. You have the whole field. I argue to anyone who'll listen to me,
Bring everything outside. You can have everything out there. And there is no rules about running your program outside. If you have a wash station that you can get kids to wash their hands, you can even have snack outside.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing because they have this wide open space. You can still bring a couple pillows out for a cozy corner. You can still bring your books and your crafts, and they can have all of the things that they're doing, the programming that you would do inside, outside, and yes, utilize it. We used to have a rule at the last place that in the winter they weren't allowed on the climber because of the school.
Yeah.
But when we ran before school, I would let them on the climber, and I had a really great conversation with the principal. I said, my kids know when you're in charge, because this is your school, they're not allowed on the climber. But when I'm in charge and all of the liability is on me, they're allowed on the climber. I'm right there.
Yeah.
What is the worst that's going to happen? Don't answer that.
Yeah.
But we take healthy risks. There's risks that need to be taken. And sometimes before and after school, we can get away with a little bit more because we know the kids deeper. We know the kids deeper.
Yeah.
But outside, I thoroughly enjoy outside. And it just, the fresh air calms the children and it gives them a whole different experience.
And I think it's again, like we were talking about with the indoor environment, sometimes we have a gym or a library or a corner of a stage or whatever. Outside spaces can look very different too. And sometimes, you know, in new subdivisions, there's not a lot of shade. There's not a lot of trees. It's a big tarmac. And that can be overwhelming for educators.
Yes.
So if it's, I know what we did was we were able to keep like a locked storage bin outside.
Oh, amazing.
And we could just open it up and have the balls and the hula hoops and all the things, the outdoor equipment available for a program. Again, that's not always possible, but is there a way for us to have, you know, a mesh bag full of balls and things that immediately can come outside and make that tarmac something fun?
Or one of those big tubs that have the rope handles. Oh yeah. And throw your outdoor equipment in it and you just have to grab and go.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and if there's funding there, a shed would do, a shed would do wonders because you get the shed for all the outdoor toys, but you can also keep some of your indoor toys in there and then you can bring them out. But yeah, I would argue the same thing that I would do in the classroom is break it up into areas so you know. Like this is where we're actually going to do our quiet center. If you want to run around and play, you can go out into the field. As long as I can see you, we're good. If you're going somewhere I can't see you, you need to come check in.
Yeah.
And it's setting those ground rules, right? But with the children, don't set them for the children. Set your rules with the kids.
That's an important distinction.
It is, because school-agers do so much better when they have a say in what's going on. They need that independence and that thriving, and they need to be able to know that the reasons why. And the best way to do that is giving them the tools on, okay, so what do you think should be a role?
Yeah. Yeah. So school-agers, you mentioned.
Yes.
Sometimes you've got those, you know, 10, 11, 12-year-olds who don't want to be there. They don't want to be
my 9-year-old. Yeah.
How do you suggest educators get them on board?
Usually giving them like a leadership role in something and finding something that they are really into. I've had kids tell me like, I don't like anything. I want to go home and play Fortnite. I would argue that you shouldn't be playing Fortnite, but it's fine. But then what I've done is we've made 3D clay figures of Fortnite characters. So they got to design their own 3D Fortnite character. And then we made a big battlefield and then they got to battle it. And the kids that were older that didn't want to be there initially were leading the whole thing and loving life.
Right.
So it's trying to find that one thing that they really like and then try to make it happen in your classroom. And it could be something as simple as building a 3D Fortnite character with some clay, but it could also be planning a trip somewhere. I had a student, a wonderful student. I mean, they're all wonderful, but she originally came from Brazil. So she was talking about how she got to go back to Brazil. And I was like, are we going on a field trip to Brazil? And she's like, you're not coming. I'm like, I think I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're all going. Who wants to go to Brazil? We want to go to Brazil. So I had them plan how we could take these 15 children to Brazil. How many parent volunteers we'd need. They got to use the iPad to look up how much flight costs were and how much the hotel was going to be and how many vehicles we needed because we couldn't take all 15 kids in one vehicle. And they dissected it. We made passports for the kids that were really into it. The kids that were older were like, I'm not making a passport. We're not actually going. But I had kids go home and be like, Miss Jamie's taking us on a field trip to Brazil. Parents being like, is this happening? Like, if you say yes. But it's fine. Could you, right? But how cool would that be? But even just the excitement of planning something like that, they don't have these choices normally. So actually executing an idea, and it's their idea, it really brings their sense of wonder.
And it's so interesting because, you know, for folks who are immersed in the childcare world, you know, you work with infants who don't have the communication, verbal communication skills to express what they're interested in, what they like, what they don't like, as much as a 10-year-old does. So, you know, how lucky are we that we can have full-on conversations with these humans to say, hey, what do you actually like to do? You know, we don't have to do our algebra and program. We can just do things. If you want to knit, let's knit. If you want to you know, do the Minecraft and the Fortnite and all the I don't know
Roblox now, maybe. I don't know if it's appropriate.
You know, whatever it is, we have the ability to make that happen and make it fun.
It's stopping ourselves from putting these barriers on what we can and can't do. And please utilize free and cheap, and utilize parents and utilize community members to donate things, because you can find anything for free. I had older students that were super interested in taking apart electronics. So I went on good old Facebook and asked for an engine, because back in the day I was able to take apart a small engine in high school. I don't know what I'm doing. I should never be trusted with machines. But who's to say the kids don't? And I had a farmer clean out and donate an old engine of some sort. I would guess a lot more, but I don't know. And the kids got to take apart this engine. It proved to be a little bit more difficult because it was super old, so we couldn't get all the screws out. But they tried for a week and a half. Like, we took everything we could apart on this engine. We figured out what kind of engine it was. We figured out what it needed to go. And it was free. Like, it didn't cost us anything. And it's so just listening to them and using the same things we learned in school about following their interests and using it for school age. Sometimes we get to school age and we're like, these kids don't want to do anything, but we haven't even talked to them, or we haven't tried anything for them to do. It's usually a really good balance between older kids and younger kids, and they have some of the similar interests, and it's just adapting it for those age groups.
Now, one of the things we know is there aren't enough RECs, just generally speaking.
I know.
But especially in before and after school care. So folks are coming in from a multitude of backgrounds.
Yep. Yes, you have a recreation staff, your CYW, sometimes respite. Yep.
Yeah. So how do you help get educators all on the same page in understanding some of this child-led play, some of this a little bit of child development? If, you know, how do we get into the pedagogical side of things with folks who might not have an ECE background?
I love that question too. Investing in them, investing in the training that they have. If you don't have the funds as a center to invest in training, which is totally fine, because I also know we get limited funding with CWEL. That's a hot topic.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's another thing. But it's bringing them in, and you doing the supervisors or the lead staff in the other rooms doing onboarding training about what it looks like, why learning happens, teaching them to actually enjoy children. Some people come in and they're like, yeah, I used to work with old people, so we're cool, right? And I'm like, oh, this is a lot different. Well, it's a lot different. But telling them your why, actually expressing the joys of working with school age children, especially when we get to summer camp or before and after school, and letting them find theirs. We often just jump into, this is policy. Okay, make sure your attendance is done. Make sure you have your allergy list posted, and make sure your ISPs are good to go. And then you're good. Then you're just settling there. But that's not really teaching anyone anything. You have to bring out the joy in people and remind them what they liked as a kid, and start with that. But yeah, definitely investing in the staff and the onboarding process, because reading policies for 3 days and then sending them to the wolves is not going to help.
No, right? And it's hard, you know, before and after school educators are under more pressure. You talked about the policies, you talked about allergy lists, all that. You know, we have licensing.
Oh, yeah.
And in the 9 to 3:30 portion of the day, they don't. But then from 7 to 9 they do.
Yes.
And from 3:30 on they do. So it's hard because we know school boards have a lot of policies that aren't, ministry licensing policies, but their own policies. And then we have
our policies.
All of our ministry policies and all of our licensing requirements. And that is a lot.
It is.
It is a lot. And especially, again, when you're working out of a corner of a stage or, a random locker somewhere, to have all of your paperwork in a row, your ducks in a row for that is a whole nother beast.
It is. It really is. And it's all about the systems, right? But it becomes a checklist, and that's the last thing we want is these compliances to become a checklist, because then it brushes over what the meaning of the compliances are, which is so hard to do because you strive so much. Everyone wants the betterment for the children, but you strive so much to have no non-compliances and make sure everything is good and that everyone's happy, and then it takes away from the learning. So it's getting systems in row so it just becomes a habit. But again, you have to teach them that before they can get thrown into the classroom.
Yeah. I think it's so hard because we can teach people, curriculum. We can teach people licensing. We can teach you what ratios are. We can teach you what, an ISP is. We can teach all that. But what we can't teach is kind of what you were talking about. This just joy and passion. Love of being with children. That's something that's so hard to teach.
It is. And you can't. It's a passion, right?
Yeah.
And it's finding whether or not people have it or not. And I saw this really great quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but it was about how don't hire anymore for experience. Hire for passion, because you can teach people, you can get people to have experience, but you won't find someone and make them have passion for something they don't have passion for.
Yeah, just because they have their RECE doesn't mean that
they should.
Right? Jamie said it, not me.
Sorry. You're going to get canceled because of me. I'm so sorry. No, but it's true. Just because they have their RECE doesn't mean they have the passion there for children or the age group that they're working in. A lot of people get thrown into before and after school because this is the starting steps and this is how the hierarchy goes. And then once someone leaves, you get to go into a full day program. But it really is a true passion in itself.
And so we talked about kind of finding your why and that. So what's your why? Why are you so passionate about school age care?
That's a great question too. Oh my gosh. And I said that a lot, so feel free to cancel any of those out. My why is basically because these children are forgotten, I think, and working in the field as long as I have, I got to spend a lot of time in before and after school, and almost instantly I found that these kids say so much more with their actions than they do with what they're talking about. And it's in those quiet moments that their true value. And it's the things that make them excited and the things that give them confidence and the things like the world hasn't, this is going to get so dark, but the world hasn't hurt them yet. And I want them to keep the passion that they have in this age group so that when the world happens, that they remember who they are. And I know growing up, there were things in school age that I absolutely hated. And I would probably change if I could go back, but it made me the person I am.
Yeah.
And if there would have been someone like me in those age groups rooting me on and giving me confidence and telling me that I'm amazing, then I think it would have turned out differently, I guess. That sounds weird, but I think that there's a place for people who root on children and know that they have value.
Kind of being that educator that you wish you had as a child.
Absolutely. And the ones that's cheering, like, first of all, telling you that you're smart, whether or not you have good marks or not. Like, it doesn't, there's so much more to that. And building confidence and letting you be who you want to be and feel and explore things and just rooting for you, wholeheartedly rooting for you. And that's what I do for all the kids that I teach is I root for them. I'm in their corner. It doesn't matter what they want to do. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're back talking me, then go for it. I invented that. Okay. I was a brat to my parents, bless their souls. But that's what they needed. And it's just it's making children feel like they belong and knowing that they're going to change the world one day. And it's going to be because they care.
Yeah. And so for the educators who are about to begin another school year,
Yes.
Before and after care, PD daycare, Christmas, March, summer break,
all
care,
of it. Yep.
All of that, working with this really unique age group of children. Kind of one inspirational thing you'd tell them to get them going.
Oh, play. Actually,
good one.
Play and enjoy it. Because while we have policies and rules that we adhere to, we are never getting this time back. And these kids will grow up and they'll go on and they'll remember the moments that you played with them and actually got to be the follower and they lead. And that's when you'll find your why, is when you let them lead the way.
Play. Love that. And I think that transcends age group, right?
It does.
That is applicable for infant care all the way up to the 12-year-olds
in
school age is play is the foundation. And it's hard to it's easy to forget. It's hard to remember to just play and enjoy yourself. And I think we get caught up in all of the policies that we talked about and all the things that are going on and all the licensing requirements and everything that's happening. But you talked about building relationship. You talked about letting them take a lead. You talked about spending time outdoors in nature, bringing program in and out, making it work for what you've got. All of that circles around play.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. And it's where our foundations happen, but it's also where the true meaning of early childhood happens, and not to be forgotten. The school agers are still a part of early childhood.
Yes, they are. 0 to 12. Amazing. Well, thank you, Jamie, so much for sharing a little bit of your school age wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope that educators listening are inspired and motivated for the year ahead. We know the work is not easy.
No.
The shifts are not easy. The relationships with the schools you're in, the storage all of it is not easy.
Yes, there's hurdles, but
there are hurdles.
It's worthwhile.
But if you focus on the positive, the joy, the meaning, the play, hopefully that carries you through a really strong school year ahead. So
absolutely. And if you ever need a motivational just reach out.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
Instagram is my favorite. Miss Jamie _RECE. That's probably the easiest one. But I'm also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and I have a website. But I don't know if people reach out through websites. So do it if you want to.
Is that still a thing? I don't know.
Instagram me anytime.
Right. Okay. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jamie.
Thank you, Allie.
The end. Thanks so much for listening. You can connect with us on Instagram at Leading Inspired Learning Pod or on our website at striveswo.ca/podcast. I would love to have you tell a friend or colleague about this podcast. Thanks again for listening. Please join us next time.